All right, well, let's get started. So I appreciate everybody taking time out of your busy schedule to join us, and welcome to our webinar on Unified Worklist, our technology and Unified Worklist. Today, you will learn how Ramsoft compiles patient study data from multiple sources into centralized Unified Worklists. These worklists can easily be and automatically compiled in our system from patient orders or simple DICOM data. For even more efficiency and functionality, we can develop a workflow utilizing HL7, DICOM scripting, and other methods. There's really no limitation of Ramsoft's Unified Worklist technology. So let's move on. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I'm Al Capel. I'm the Director of Sales here at Ramsoft, and I have over 30 years of technology and healthcare experience. I've been with Ramsoft 9 years now, and really love what we do. Today we're going to take you through our technology to create customizable unified worklists. But first, a little bit about who we are. So Ramsoft was founded over 25 years ago, and we're a patient care company, not just a software company. This ideology guides the way we envision, develop, and deliver solutions to our customers. With that in mind, we've developed software that is single platform, very easy to use, has an incredibly versatile and configurable workflow that's also highly scalable. So let's review some of the highlights of today's presentation. So today we're going to review what is a unified worklist, what makes up a unified worklist. What makes our unified worklist different from other vendors? There's other vendors out there that have it. We have a very unique way with our technology and the years of experience in doing it, and we'll take you through that. We'll review a scenario. While there's many different scenarios to deploy our unified worklist, we'll discuss one. So what is a unified worklist? From a simplistic point of view, a unified worklist takes patient study data from multiple sources and presents it in a singular worklist with the goal of increasing efficiency. So let's say you're an imaging center practice with 8 locations. With Ramsoft, you can combine data from all 8 locations into a single unified worklist based upon role, study statuses, study types, locations, or whatever workflow best fits your practice needs. Now, for instance, like here's a screenshot of a worklist a practice manager might use. So the practice manager is essentially going to be an admin, right? So that manager has access to all the different worklists. This gives them the ability to review departmental workflow, make adjustments to ensure the practice is running smoothly. They can also easily move tasks from one list to another, drag and drop. It's very easy. All right, for instance, like a technologist is still dealing with a challenging patient, and the next patient is ready to be scanned. The next inline patient can be dragged and dropped into another tech's worklist. And of course, it's always courteous to inform the tech that of this patient reassignment, right? They might still think this next in-line patient's on their list. And now this can easily be done with our secure HIPAA-compliant messaging. So there's no need to dial an extension or yell across the room, or that's really not the ideal way to do it, right? Or dial an extension and nobody's going to answer because they're busy scanning patients and so forth. So, but they will more than likely have that phone in their pocket like all of us do, right? So they're going to get that message. They're going to feel the vibration or hear a ding or something, and they'll look at that notification. So for scheduling staff, what's a unified worklist? How does it work for them? So scheduling staff can work from one list regardless of location, right? So I'd mentioned this practice with 8 locations. You can have one centralized person or persons doing scheduling, and from any of those imaging locations, or even working from home, essentially anywhere with an internet connectivity. So, although I really wouldn't recommend doing it at Starbucks, for instance, that could compromise protected health information. You really want to do it anywhere with an internet connection that's secure. So, how does technologists gain advantages using multiple lists? So, technologists can work from multiple unified work lists based on modality types, location. For instance, maybe a tech reports to different imaging facilities during their work week. I've seen that. The imaging facilities may not be too far apart, and maybe you have an ultrasound tech reporting to facility A on Monday and Tuesday, and another facility on Wednesday and Thursday, etc. They can work on that specific list within that location, and during the days that they're there. So that's a great way to really increase efficiency. So for radiologists, radiologists love this feature as they can work from a single list, configured however they please, by study type, modality, location, etc. And this is personalized, okay, for everybody really. It doesn't have to be a global list. It can be a global list. It can be a personalized list. Radiologists love to have their own personalized list. And also keep in mind, on the radiologist work list, anytime a stat exam comes through, it always floats to the top regardless of the way it's configured. So what makes us different? So what are the key differentiators with Ramsoft? Well, there's a few of them. There's all kinds of them, actually, but here's just a few. Workflow is one. Ramsoft's been providing workflow efficiencies for more than 25 years. So you can configure a workflow that best suits your practice and then easily modify it as your requirements change. Maybe you add another location, or, you want to change up your workflow a little bit. You're thinking, what, it might be a little more efficient if we do this, or drop a step in the process, right? It's always nice if you can drop a step in the process and increase your efficiency that way. So you can always easily modify your workflow. So technology. So we've developed the technology over, again, the 25 years that we've been doing this, and so we've developed that technology and the process to meet workflow and work list challenges. And then, of course, the best thing is our people. Okay, our staff knows the challenges you face with an inflexible workflow, as many of them have worked in hospitals, imaging centers, radiology groups, etc. Now, we will build a Ramsoft unified work list that increases efficiency to unprecedented levels for you. So let's talk about a scenario here. And one of my previous slides had mentioned how we can take a simple unified work list to the next level with HL7, scripting, and other methods. So think about this scenario. Your private radiology practice with multiple hospital clients, imaging centers, etc. Your radiologists are presently reading on a variety of disparate systems in these hospitals and imaging centers, and I see them having to travel from one location to the other, right? So all that time in the car, they're not reading cases, and that's an efficiency problem. Okay, so they're reading on these disparate systems and traveling from one location to another. So your vision is to become more efficient, right? Increase coverage, reduce turnaround time, serving patients much more quickly. Having this efficiency, you can also focus on increasing your client base, right, by marketing outside of your present geographical location. So how do we solve that? Well, let's take a look at this diagram. So this slide might look a little busy, but I've been involved in a lot of these deployments, so I can speak to it quite well. Implementing a PACS, the red box in the middle, let's call it a centralized PACS, for your practice, provides a bidirectional HL7 status messaging with your client systems, which allows a radiologist at hospital A to read a few cases for his or her colleagues at hospital B. Okay, that decreases turnaround time and also obviously positively impacts patient care. Now, while it's always desired that your radiologists view and report in your centralized system, occasionally they open a study in the hospital system, right? I mean, that's what they've been used to for years. And somebody says, hey, can you look at this? Boom, they open it up, and next thing you know, they're reading a case in the hospital system. No problem. The status messaging developed through these HL7 messages provides messaging between the hospital system and your PACS, which enables radiologists to read in either system. So this configuration also prevents duplicate reads, because if the radiologist opens a study in the hospital system, for instance, a message then is immediately sent to your PACS, and the same in the opposite direction. It's kind of like a parallel PACS. So in today's rather brief presentation, we've learned what defines a unified work list. We've reviewed how Ramsoft can increase efficiency for a variety of roles, including admins, schedulers, techs, radiologists, and so forth. We also discussed Ramsoft's key differentiators, radiology practices challenge, and how Ramsoft is able to come to the rescue with our more than 25 years of deploying this technology. So the bottom line is efficiency, right? I mean, Ramsoft's incredibly versatile, configurable workflow with unified work lists drives these efficiencies to new heights. So again, I appreciate everybody joining us today for our brief webinar, and I'd like to go ahead and take some questions. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like we've got some. What is involved in setting up your unified work list? Well, from a real simplistic point of view, unified work list is available right out of the box, right? We can create unified work lists just using DICOM data. So if you're a radiology practice receiving images from 5 different imaging centers and some hospitals, et cetera, we can take that DICOM information, right, which is going to show that particular facility and patient information, all that DICOM information, and automatically create unified work lists for that. If you want to take it a step further, as I had mentioned with HL7 integrations and scripting and things like that, you can do that very easily. Is there a limitation to the number of connected facilities? Yeah, I know I mentioned like 8 as a number. I think I was just using that, but actually there's no limitation to the number of connected facilities with Ramsoft. It is unlimited. Oh, here's a good one. What are the costs associated with deploying unified work lists? Well, again, to my first point is if you're a Ramsoft customer, this feature is available right out of the box, okay, with DICOM information. Now, if you want to get into the more high-tech version of it, if you will, with the HL7 integrations and the scripting and so forth, we really would have to discuss that with you and get an understanding of how many locations you're looking at and what type of messaging you want to go back and forth with, and the whole workflow. So what we do when we do that is we have a discussion with you and dive into the workflow challenges that you're having right now, and then we kind of drill down a little bit further each time and discuss what we can do with integrations and scripting and things like that. So it's hard to just throw a cost at it right there. But like I said, right out of the box, just using DICOM information, it's available. It's no extra charge setting it up that way. Can Ramsoft query another RIS and add these scheduled studies to the work list? Yeah, so actually that would be done through an integration. So that would be like we can take orders in from another RIS, for instance, right? An inbound ORM message, and that information can be added to the work list. Now we would also, want to know about DICOM. We're going to pull DICOM from another location or what? I don't know. But yeah, certainly there's a lot of different things we can do. But simplistically, yeah, that would be an ORM message in, and yeah, then we can take all that information. Well, it looks like that is it. Again, I appreciate everybody showing up for today's presentation, and please stay tuned for more webinars coming in the new year. So we won't have one next month, but we will in the new year. So please stay tuned. I'm sure you'll be seeing notifications via email or social media, etc. So thank you all for joining us today, and we'll go ahead and conclude today's presentation.